Now is get to an edge, right? We needed to front him up and make sure that he was more lateral instead of being able to get vertical. And I thought those guys did a phenomenal job of that tonight.
I'm sorry if you already answered this. How do you
Yeah.
feel communication was from last week to this week, especially when you get to kind of the middle of each half? It seemed like you guys really started to kind of flow together.
Yeah, it's better, but it's got to be much better. And chemistry matters, right? These guys don't have the same chemistry as those guys had a year ago. So when you have new guys and new positions, man, guys have to learn, how to communicate with one another, how to trust one another. And it's not just communicating. Sometimes it's just actively listening, right? So, there's two forms. And I think these guys are continuing to get better. But in practices, and Coach Gundy gave us a little more time this week to work on, like some of those components. I thought it showed up, like in the games, I thought guys felt a little more comfortable. So again, we'll look at the tape, we'll evaluate it, and then we'll move forward. Yep.
I'm sorry, Derek. A little late to the party.
No problem.
The big plays they reeled off on you. They had
Yeah.
a couple.
Yeah.
You guys are them. Just credit to them on getting
Credit
loose.
to them. Credit to them in man, adjusting the empty and moving the empty. Remember, we practiced that all week. For us, it came down to one of those moments where we just needed clear communication, and we didn't get it. So, again, it just lets us know, hey, that's one of those things that we have to continue to work on, because this won't be the only team, or these two teams won't be the only teams that are going to look to scratch where it itches, right? Everybody's going to look to scratch where it itches, and those things are things that fundamentally, man, we gotta work on this week, because we'll see it next week.
Without the film, what improved from last week to this week, and what still needs some improvement?
Look, the biggest improvement, points, right? I mean, we gave up less points. We need to be better. Okay, man. And I thought the explosives. I mean, we had some, but they weren't explosive touchdowns. And I think when you can limit explosives, man, it gives you an opportunity. Turnovers matter, right? Whether it's turnover on downs or flipping the field. And I thought our guys just played a cleaner ball game tonight. I mean, it wasn't as clean as any of us would like. But here's the deal. There's always tomorrow. So we're going to look at the film, and we're going to get back to the lab and make sure, man, when we come out next week, man, we try to play a cleaner ball game.
The one thing Tyler Lacey's kind of missed throughout his career is the pass rush.
Yeah.
He's got 2 sacks in 2 games now. How have you seen him grow in that aspect since you've been here?
Hey, look, he's challenging himself. We're challenging him to be an outside-inside guy. He's learning how to play the 3 technique. He's learning how to play a 4-eye, and that's different than, where he had been as a sophomore and junior. As a veteran now, I think, he's got big-time ability, and his ability to play inside is going to be a huge factor for this team, because it's about being able to get our most productive and dynamic players on the field, right? And so, with that being said, man, we're going to make sure we keep rolling. I think we got a lot of depth, and a guy like Tyler Lacey, is starting to lead the charge. What he's got to continue to do is just make sure from week to week, the practices, because the way you practice is the way you play. That's what I truly believe, and I think he's had 2 good weeks of practice, so we just got to keep going in that direction.
You might have been asked about this, and I apologize, but